Hey, the Italians don't claim you. You're the one dating a black guy.
All I have to say is, black men, I love you.
Gross.
If a woman's 35 and unmarried, it's likely that she will never get married.
Have you had sex, Pearl?
I'm not a virgin.
So you've had sex. What if you had a baby right now?
So what value do you think you'll be settling on in your own personal life?
What value will I be settling on in my personal?
What man do you think is reasonable for you to pursue?
I think that's a bit of a inappropriate question. But
that's interesting because you spend all day talking about this stuff.
I'm just curious how women rate themselves, and then I'm gonna have the women rate each other too.
I mean, you can go online and have people rate your pictures, and they rank you 1 to 10.
Is Lizzo gonna be a 10 anywhere? I mean, I have common sense.
Why can't we talk about them without getting kicked off of YouTube?
In this digital age, people like Just Pearly Things has leveraged the boundless reach of the internet to broadcast their musings to the world. With the audacity to set up microphones, cameras, and sound system, they can freely express their thoughts and ideas, regardless of how nonsensical or contradictory they may be. After watching numerous videos and debates that features Just Pearly Things for the past 2 to 3 weeks, it seems very challenging to understand her thought process and motivations. Her opinions and stances on various issues appears to be constantly shifting and contradictory, even contradicting her own previous statements. One moment, she may express a particular viewpoint, and in the next, she may express the complete opposite. That being said, welcome to my deep dive. Hi guys, my name is Jo, and welcome to my channel. Kindly subscribe if you're not, like this video and share. On this channel, I actually give commentary. I just speak about anything I want to speak about, whether they are trendy or not. And if video essay is what you love, then welcome. Kindly subscribe if you've not, like this video and share with your friends. And if this is not your first time, thank you so much for being a returning subscriber. You mean the world to me. That being said, let's get into this video. So journaling has been a very integral part of my life since 2021, and it has really transformed my life. So if you're on a journey of self-improvement and self-development, you could purchase my journal just as a tool to just help you along the way. So this journal consists of law of attraction, feelings journal, brain dump, shadow work prompt, and guided dream prompts. Everything is already done for you. So again, if this is something that you see yourself doing, or if you're on a journey of self-improvement and you just need a tool to just help you, keep you organized, or to give you something like a routine, my journal is the best for you. So what's today's motivational quote, or what's today's word of the day? Your journey is unfolding exactly as it should. Trust in divine timing. Your journey is unfolding just as it should. Trust in divine timing. So guys, that being said, let's get into this video. Who is Just Pearly Things? Just Pearly Things, also known as Pearl or Hannah Pearl Davis. She is a 27-year-old American YouTuber. She's also an online personality. She gained attention by being part of the manosphere community. So the manosphere community is an online community that promotes anti-feminist and sexist beliefs against women empowerment. Despite coming from a religious and seemingly well-off family in Illinois, Pearl, she has embraced and she has also promoted many misogynistic ideas from the manosphere. Her controversial views include believing that women shouldn't have the right to vote, women should remain virgins until marriage, women should be submissive to their husbands, and that divorce should be banned.
Specifically on the vote, what would having the right to vote have to do with family cohesion, for example?
Well, because again, before you weren't trying to divide a family. It was one family unit. You had one vote for the family. I mean, I don't think it's good for a family to have 2 votes. I think it's a choice. And that's the thing, like, women are so willing to leave marriages because they're not happy. This is not about happiness. The most important thing is the children. And the problem is we have a modern society where it's me, my feelings, leave when I feel like it, instead of doing what's best for the kid.
Would the world be a better place if women didn't have a say?
Well, you know, if we just took women that pay taxes, they're net taxpayers, they're not taking any alimony, child support, or they're in an infrastructure job, most women wouldn't vote anyway.
On her online platform, Pearl constantly panders to and encourages male-centric narratives that limit choices for women, while also giving men more freedom than women. She gets her ideas from communities like the Red Pill movement. I don't know if you guys know about Fresh and Fit. Those are part of the Red Pill movement. Also, some of her ideas are from MGTOW, which means men going their own way. And these people in this community, their views are mostly always very degrading towards women. Interestingly, despite preaching about how women should behave to attract high-value men, Pearl herself, she is single, she has never been married, and she's not even been in a long-term relationship. So this just always seems to contradict her own advice. I mean, the same advice that she gives out freely to other women. She doesn't even live it. Many critics, they've come out to point out the apparent hypocrisy in Pearl's stance, because people, like I said earlier, they do not believe that she seems to meet the standards that she claimed that men desire. First of all, like I said earlier, she's 27 years old, which is very surprising because I wouldn't think she's 27 years old. I am older than Pearl Davis to start with, and I'm not age shaming. I'm coming from a point where I believe that there is just so much hatred in her that is manifesting in her physically, because honestly, in case you guys do not know, if you carry so much hatred in you, it can show forth like physically. Pearl, she's almost 30 years, she's 27. She's not a virgin. She's been in a relationship before with a black guy. She's outspoken, and also people have come out to say that she does not fit the conventional beauty standard. That's for you guys to judge, because I'm not going to come here and, you know what, I actually do not care. But that being said, another thing that people have actually noticed about Pearl is that her persona just contradicts the qualities that she advocates for in a potential partner. Some people believe that the men who amplify her voice and message are not genuinely attracted to her, but rather they just validate her views in hopes that a younger, more traditionally feminine woman might be available to them.
I'm gonna be completely real and honest right now. It's not that Pearl is too masculine or argumentative. These men just think she's ugly. And I'm not trying to simplify it. In fact, I'm a big advocate of digging deeper, but the truth is, men will let you get away with a lot if they find you attractive. Prime example, I'm even more argumentative than Pearl, especially to men. They can tell me an objective fact about themselves and I'll disagree for fun. You're from LA? No, you're not. You're 6'1". 5'10" at best. You know what? Those who find me pretty don't think I'm masculine. In fact, they find me a challenge, a character to conquer. It feels gross, and I think it's pathetic. Here's my take. This whole thing proves how utterly useless it is to live for the desire and approval of men. Because you will only get male approval in one way, and it's not by agreeing with them, or chasing them, or giving them chances time and time again. It's by fitting a conventional standard of beauty. And morbidly enough, while it might make them desire you, it does not promise respect. In fact, oftentimes, it guarantees a level of dehumanization. It is truly fruitless, and we only do it because we were trained by a system not made for us.
Do you know why Pearl is available? Because even though she says the right things that men resonate with, she's masculine as hell. Men like feminine women.
Pearl is not picked because Pearl is not conventionally attractive. It has nothing to do with the fact that she's not like soft and feminine enough. Like in personality. This guy goes on to say in his video, like, you know, she's too like argumentative and has like really strong opinions and it's like not chill. And even though she's saying everything that guys want to hear, which she's not, by the way, a lot of men don't want the type of women like that. Like they're not totally interested in that. She's still not picked because she's just, you know, she's on these podcasts and she's just too argumentative and blah, blah, blah. Wrong. And let me tell you why, okay? Look at someone like Tommy Lauren. or even like Candace Owens, like women who are so aggressive in their political and like conservative and like just lifestyle opinions in general. They are conventionally attractive women, and so they have husbands and families and children, even though they're very aggressive online, even though they're very aggressive in the media. And they're saying a lot of conservative things that men love to be like, this is what men really think and really want. This is how people really feel. And it's truly not. But the reason that their career trajectory is so different from Pearl's is because they're conventionally attractive.
Pearl has been gaining significant attention and traction and controversy since 2022 through her online videos. I just want to come out and say that Pearl did not start off like talking about the manosphere. Before, she was just a regular TikToker.
Next up on the You Slept With My Man quiz, we have Maddie, age 21. Are you still together? No. Did you know he was taken? I never asked. How long were you guys together? 6 months. Did you go on dates or just hook up? We went on dates. If you guys did go on dates, was it somewhere nice or Chick-fil-A? Both. Did you feel bad? Not really. How often did you see him? Every other day. Would you do it again? 100%. Duet this if this is you.
Reading people's anonymously submitted secret. I'm married and my husband cheated on me when I was pregnant. I stayed and now I regret it, but we are happy. But I secretly hate him. I genuinely cannot stand the man. We have 3 kids together, so I don't want to break apart my family and be the bad guy. I'm waiting and hoping and begging that he cheats again. That way I can act heartbroken and have a reason to leave and still say it's his fault.
Now, she engages in debates with feminists, she challenges modern women's values, and she asks invasive questions about people's dating lives on the street. While her provocative content has drawn criticism from many, it has also attracted a substantial following, particularly among these certain online communities. Pearl's confrontational approach and willingness to tackle sensitive topics has also made her a very polarizing figure that has garnered both the ardent supporters and the vehement opposition. So now let's talk about what Pearl believes in. Pearl, obviously, like I said earlier, she's a very controversial human being, and I cannot seem to think that she actually regrets this path that she took, because one thing I have noticed, people who take the wrong, weird, unconventional, controversial path because they want to be very, very quick to fame, they often do not last. Be patient. Be patient. If you're not passionate about something, the quicker you go to something, the quicker you get to lose it most of the time. And that is what is going on with Pearl from my own point of view, because I'm very, very sure that she has sat down and regretted even starting this. But I think I'm going ahead of myself.
Today, I'm going to talk to you guys about a topic that I've been asked a couple times. A lot of guys on the channel, they'll say, how are you so reasonable? How, or even girls, they'll ask me, like, how can you listen to this man talk about all these women being average? I have one answer for you. Low self-esteem. From a young age, I haven't thought highly of myself. I never thought that I deserved a lot, to be honest. I never thought of myself as a queen. And I never thought of myself super highly. I'm gonna just be honest here. From a young age, I was what you call humbled.
Pearl, she holds controversial views on various issues that relate to women's roles and women's rights. She believes that women taking over the educational system has ruined it. She claims that women have an unfair advantage because most teachers are female. In one of her tweets, she actually stated that 16-year-old girls are hotter than 26-year-old girls. And obviously, everybody was concerned about her views because people are wondering what kind of mind does she have towards minors, given the fact that she, at this time, I think she was like 26 years old, and she was like literally 10 years older than a 16-year-old. Pearl, she frequently has used derogatory terms. She's called women whales, she's called women fat, she's called women obese, she's described women with such derogatory and degrading terms. She has openly insulted someone, saying that the person was obese and divorced.
Do you know what I don't understand though is when it gets spiteful, okay? Because you put down a few arguments that I think are perfectly, like, you know, they're kind of evangelical and they're Christian, but those are your right to say it. What I don't understand is when you call women fat, you say that they shouldn't have abortions, you say that they have STDs. You know,
I mean, the question is, are they fat? Yes or no? The average American woman is 170 pounds. That's objectively over.
I was actually watching your podcast earlier, and you spoke to someone who was, I would say, probably a size 12, and you called her fat, obese, and a divorcee.
She was fat, obese, and a divorcee.
wasn't.
I mean, like, I don't know what to say. This is the thing, women, we don't want to live in reality. We don't want to say things that are true. Was she fat? Yes. Was she a divorcee? Yes. These things are just objective facts.
Okay, I'm gonna...
She believes that birth control is the root of evil because it allows women to delay the responsibility of having children and raising the future of humanity. She argues that women shouldn't have the choice to postpone parenthood until they are ready. I just want to tell you that Pearl grew up privileged. She grew up rich. She went to a private school, and her mom and her dad, they own a company, and the company that they own is very, very profitable. The company that they own is a very good company. The company is doing well. Her mom herself is a CEO, and she also helps women. She also runs a charity foundation to support women. So you can imagine a woman who is all about taking care of women, making sure that women are in a better place. Imagine a woman like that having a daughter like Pearl.
So I really got to thinking about how old Pearl's mom was when she started her Davis Ware company with her husband. I found an interview and the transcript of the interview that Jennifer did a couple of years ago, and she says in this interview that she was in high school when her and her husband started this company. So Pearl's mother was literally a 17-year-old high school student who was, I guess, married to this 23-year-old man, and they started a business. And this is not something that they've ever tried to hide. It's been brought up multiple times in multiple different interviews that she was only 17 years old when he was in his 20s when they started their business. She was literally the age of a junior in high school, and he was the age of a college graduate. How does a 17-year-old have the experience or knowledge to start up a software company? That's pretty amazing. Check out this promo video. They seem like very charming and charismatic people, so we shouldn't be too quick to judge.
Co-founder of Davis Ware.
And I'm Dan Davis, CEO of Davis Ware, the technology partner for...
I'm sure they're lovely people. I just want to know. I just want to know what they think about this. I just got to know what they think about their daughter's behavior. Because I feel like if they didn't support Pearl's views, they probably would have said something by now.
That must be so disappointing. I know her mom has come here to like drop a hint or two that she doesn't stand with what Pearl is saying and everything that Pearl is about. And honestly, it just really breaks my heart, because how are you all about women empowerment, having your own company, being a millionaire, and then you have a child who is going the other way?
You know, I grew up in a family business too, so my dad hired people all the time. Like, he had over 200 employees.
Wasn't your mom the president? Was she the leader of the company?
What was you're researching my family now, huh?
Well, that's all public.
No, my mom, I mean, I don't know what they titled it. Like, I don't
Your
think
mom
really
was the president, I believe, but
yeah,
based on an interview
I mean, they
saw.
might have titled it one thing or another. My mom did more of the marketing sales side. My dad did the engineering and the software.
Okay.
I think they wanted to get some grant, so I think like they might have had her like they did that to get some grant from the government or something. I don't remember. But
so in this, is that a crime?
Yeah, you probably shouldn't say that on air.
We can cut that out.
Parents might not like that.
So Pearl, she's against women's right to vote, and she tried to connect this to the military draft for men, despite the fact that The last draft happened in 1970, and instead of addressing the potential unfairness in the selective system itself, she blames women and she also blames feminists. She claims that women are too emotional to vote and that women's suffrage actually led to the breakdown of families and increased taxes. And hereby, due to this her stance, she holds women responsible for societal issues.
I'm not the biggest fan of female politicians. I think generally we're too emotional. Yeah. So, I mean, it's like, do I want, in the U.S., I know more about the U.S. political system, so do I want someone with the nuke bomb that could get their period, and then she's in a bad mood? I don't want that personally.
Yeah, I suppose it'd be...
I fear the day we have a woman president in the...
Oh, Pearl. I am convinced that this is a bit, her personality can't be real at this point.
Sometimes, watching her, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I just always feel like squeezing my phone because I'm like, what the hell? And I feel like she just makes up all these dates in her mind. I feel she makes up all these dates in her mind, like in 1941, women, this, da. And then when someone comes to counter her point, she doesn't even have another point to prove the person wrong because she doesn't even know what she's saying. She is never ever prepared for this debate and for this interview. And oh my God, am I the only person that hates the way she talks? I hate the way she talks. She is so sluggish. She sounds dumb, but honestly, I don't even want to believe that Pearl is dumb. I believe she's a very intelligent person that knows what she's doing, and I think she's just out here to create controversy and just to get as much money as she can, because obviously when you come out to create controversy, you get called by so many people. I mean, the other day there was a white woman that was referring to people as the N-word, and she still does not even care. She's not apologized even after she got fired from her job. That's the world we live in. And I saw that somebody had even called this woman for an interview. Everybody finds it very, very easy to trigger the black community. The black community always seems to be like a target where people always want to start being controversial towards. But it is what it is. Pearl, being the person that she is, she suggests that any woman in debt shouldn't have the right to vote. And if women enter an industry, that industry will be ruined. She argues that since women don't work in tough fields like the military, they shouldn't vote. I don't know what world this girl lives in, because there are so many women that works in the military. She also believes that younger women are more attractive and shouldn't delay relationships or use birth control, despite potentially not being ready for parenthood. I agree with her on that because she's 27 years old and I'm sure she's not attractive. She actually pulled that one out because she's the one that said that younger women are more attractive. So since she's 27 years old, we'll use her as an example of someone who is older but not attractive. Shockingly, I don't know why I'm shocked though, but shockingly, Pearl has stated that she would be okay with her future husband if her future husband cheats on her. And she has also condoned men cheating on their partners in general.
And apparently it's the woman's fault if a man cheats.
Oh, well, a lot of the times in 2024, yeah. Because what women do, this is what they do. They get married, and I interview men that have been divorced, okay? Mm-hmm. And so I hear all these horror stories, and I hear how common this is. They get married, they get the 2 kids they wanted, they stop sleeping with their husband. Well, okay, if you haven't slept with him in 2 years, what is a man supposed to do? Yeah. I mean, and then you get mad, he screws a stripper. I mean, I can't say I didn't see that coming.
Well, you put it like that. So if your other half did something like that, how would you react?
How would I react? Well, first I would ask, did I do anything to contribute to this? Because a lot of men cheat too because they have a nagging wife. You know, a lot of men cheat because, their wife is just a nuisance at home. Mm-hmm. But, I'd rather he didn't. That's like my preference.
Do you like the 1950s style housewife at home?
Overall, Pearl believes that modern women just want too much control in relationships, and her controversial stances actually promotes regressive misogynistic views about women's rights and roles in the society. So now let's talk about Pearl and the Black manosphere. Before we talk about Pearl and the Black manosphere, I would just like to talk a little bit about manosphere. The manosphere is a toxic online community. The manosphere, they are this collection of online communities that promotes masculinity, and they also oppose feminism. And the people in this manosphere, they often express dislike or prejudice against women. This manosphere, they have several groups. So they have the men's rights activists, that's the MRAs. They have the involuntary celibates, that's the incels. They also have men going their own way, that is the MGTOW. They have the pickup artists, that is the PUAs, and they have the fathers' rights group. So some well-known figures that are associated with the manosphere, they are Fresh and Fit, and we have Andrew Tate, and we also have the late Kevin Samuels, which we'll talk a little bit about later on in this video. So the origin of the manosphere can be traced back to the 1970s when it broke away from men's liberation movement. So initially, the men's liberation movement, they supported feminism, but later they formed their own separate community. They challenged the idea that men should always be in charge, and they also wanted men to value themselves more. They felt that feminism was causing men to lose authority, especially in relationships where women seem to be taking control. But guys, let's just put a pause on that. Even in a healthy relationship, let's just talk about like a heterosexual relationship, yeah? Even in a healthy relationship, especially a heterosexual relationship, the man is always kind of in charge. People that are in relationship or marriage, before, especially the women, before they actually do anything, they're like, oh yeah, I'll have to check in with my man first to see if he's okay with that. So I actually do not even know where these people are coming from, because most times, even in the healthiest relationship, the man is always in charge. They also believe that ideas like men being more sensitive were problematic, and today the manosphere still advocates for bringing back traditional masculinity. Pearl is a social media personality, and she has become very controversial for her own opinions on gender relations and her criticisms of modern feminism. While her views resonate with some online communities, including parts of the manosphere, her connection to the Black manosphere is particularly noteworthy. The Black manosphere is a collection of online spaces where Black men come together to discuss topics that are related to masculinity, dating, or relationships. However, these spaces, they've been criticized for promoting negative stereotypes and dislikes towards Black women. And obviously, their roots and their ideas and their thinking is rooted in both sexism and racism.
If there's men that watch this show, if they've learned anything, it's probably how to respect and how to have a long-term healthy relationship with a woman that you can call your wife and have a family with.
How do you get a wife, Ethan? Because my thing is like you're like you're talking about the finish line. What about the race?
Yeah.
You understand? Like you have to get
Are
to a
either of
certain
you married?
point where you can even identify a female that's worthy of marriage, of having a family with, etc. And unfortunately, in today's day and age, it's not that simple anymore. So we live in a very complex world where it's difficult to identify women that are marriage material.
And most aren't. Simply, that's just what it is.
So you guys are. If you guys' method is so good, why aren't you married?
Again, because men are the ones that decide if they want to get married.
Choice.
So you choose not to be married.
Yes, because men are the ones. We're the gatekeepers to marriage and commitment. Women are the gatekeepers to sex.
Right. And you're 34, right, Myron?
Yes.
And do you plan on getting married someday? Do you think it's important?
Eventually. The nuclear family is the backbone to any thriving society.
Oh, thank you for saying that about me.
Good job, but a lot of guys don't have that ability to find a woman that's worthy.
You don't have that ability.
I don't have that ability?
You're not married.
That's by choice.
Oh, but no, the ability to find a woman, you clearly don't have that ability. So you use the sugar daddy websites as dating sites.
Yes, so we did a whole episode on
And then
this.
you complain about women being shallow.
I never complained about women being shallow.
You say it's hard to find a good woman because they're motivated by material things and stuff, and yet you're seeking women, specifically a certain type of woman, obviously, that would be on a sugar daddy website. So it seems like you are confirming your biases by even going there to find women. What?
Okay, so you
Sorry,
said
Walter, I'll say it. Do you want me to say it again slower?
So Pearl's views, they align with some of the narratives that are common in the Black manosphere, particularly the idea that Black women are responsible for the breakdown of Black families and the disempowerment of Black men. Like some writers from the past, Pearl, she suggested that Black women need to clean up their act and submit to their husbands, echoing the belief that women's empowerment has come at the expense of men's authority. This is a white woman. This is a white woman. I really need to go and get cleansed, because I have immersed myself of 2 to 3 weeks listening to this girl speak. And now my YouTube homepage is actually Davis, and I'm tired. Please, can someone tell me how to erase that? Because I'm done. Obviously, we have people that have come to criticize the Black manosphere, and critics, they've come out to say that the Black manosphere contributes to the crisis of violence against Black women because they promote harmful ideologies and they also promote harmful stereotypes about Black women. So while the manosphere itself is not solely responsible for this violence, it just provides a platform for the spread of misogynistic and racist narratives that can lead to real-world consequences. We see all these people in the Black manosphere just coming to literally just say whatever they want to say. My battery is almost dead. I have to get on my second battery. They just come out to say like harmful and stereotypical bullshit against Black people. So someone on Sunday asked me, she was like, how did you find your style? And when I was telling her, I was like, Black people, especially Black women, have different styles. But again, the media and people like this in the Black manosphere community, they've portrayed a particular way that Black people are being seen. Like the media, we have people like Sexy Red that are being portrayed as the stereotypical Black woman, but meanwhile we have clean girl Black women, we have travel girl Black women, we have hippie Black women, we have alternative Black women like I am. So like we have Black women in every form and sizes, but the community has actually come out, or the people or the media, they've come out to portray Black women in a very, very different light. So Pearl's alignment with this narrative, they've actually raised concern about her potential influence, particularly among younger audiences. Her willingness to use derogatory language and make controversial statements, such as suggesting that 16-year-old girls are hotter than 26-year-old girls, they've actually drawn criticisms and accusations of promoting harmful views towards minor and women in general. So while the manosphere and its various subcultures claim to provide spaces for men to discuss their experiences and perspectives, the promotion of misogyny, racism, and extremist ideologies has led many people to question the true motivations and consequences of these online communities. So now let's just have like an in-depth talk about Pearl's journey into the manosphere. Pearl's journey into the manosphere began with Kevin Samuels. I spoke a little bit about Kevin Samuels before in the beginning. So Kevin Samuels, he was a very controversial figure, and he was known for harshly criticizing women, especially Black women. Kevin Samuels, he was an internet personality who got very popular online for his controversial opinions about dating and about relationship. So what Kevin Samuels would do, he would harshly criticize women, especially Black women, for their looks, for their age, and for their weight. And this is what in the manosphere community is known as your market value.
How tall are you?
I am a stallion. I'm 5'10".
Dress size?
Huh?
Dress size?
I'm 14.
Okay.
You and all your little...
Yeah, I do the same. Do you not? You get the same
I'm
thing
not,
everybody else gets.
okay.
Okay, ma'am.
I
So
mean,
at 5
I'm
foot,
good.
5'10",
I
5'10". Hold on. 5'10".
Don't try me, Kevin.
Oh no! See, don't tell me what not to do. I've been nothing but. Hold on! Don't you do that?
I was respectful.
Don't you do that? Don't tell me what not to do on my show. I've been polite to you, but it's not my fault that you 5'10" and weigh more than a man at your height.
I mean, but as a 5 foot, I can see
5'10", and listen, ma'am, 5'10", and I don't care how you carry it or not. The higher up you go, the more you're not competing with that man. You're competing with the women that are around that man making $250,000.
And these women that used to hop on his life, is everything okay? Like, is everything fine at home? Do you need someone to hug? Do you need someone to talk to? Like, I could hug you, I could talk to you. Like, literally, there are online communities, especially on Facebook, that you could just, talk to. There's help everywhere. You didn't have to go to Kevin Samuel's Instagram to be auctioned. Honestly, like, is everything fine at home? So Kevin Samuels, he believed that women had unrealistic standards for men that they wanted to date. Trust me, I understand that some women's standards could be very unrealistic, but if you feel like a woman is asking for too much, especially if it's like for the bare minimum, then you have no business being in the dating scene. Anyway, Kevin Samuels, he promoted very traditional gender roles where women would submit to men, and his views, they aligned with certain online male communities that often express dislike towards women.
My mother is celibate. She's not really looking for any type of marriage.
Celibate?
Yeah, she's celibate.
How many kids does she have?
Just me and my little brother.
And she's been celibate for how long?
Since my brother was born. So my brother's 9 now.
So for what reasons?
Because of the father of my brother was also a toxic relationship. She just kind of was focused on...
Your mother's celibate because her baby daddy was toxic?
Well, no, I would say she's celibate because she has the same beliefs. Like, she's Christian, she wants to get married, and she
can't be that. But see, do you realize how crazy that sounds?
Yeah,
you got 2 kids out of wedlock by 2 different men, and then you want to become celibate. See, what you're showing is even your mama is a problem.
How so?
You may love your mama, but your mama's a problem. You don't get to go and be a reborn Christian and be celibate for 9 years and then start saying the problem with men.
So when he had millions of followers, Samuel was like very extremely controversial, and some people agreed with his traditional values, while others just thought that he spread these harmful stereotypes about women, especially about Black women. In 2022, Kevin Samuels, he actually died. He died at the age of 53. This is someone that actually used to come out and speak ill about women, criticizing women's body, criticizing how big women are, and really pinpointing every part of a woman. Anyways, he died at the age of 53 due to health issues. And when he died, obviously his death actually sparked mixed reactions, and some people, they criticized him because of his misogynistic views, and others defended him. This is someone that came out to speak down on a woman, saying that women's standards are too much. Anyways, he died, and obviously his death sparked so many debates. Some people were happy and some people were not happy. I personally, I didn't give a flipping fuck. I was very indifferent because I never ever listened to anything this guy said. Because I'm following Spiritual World on Instagram, so Spiritual World always really posted his videos, and I would just see these girls on his live. In his words, you can't make this shit up. So obviously, even after death, Kevin Samuel, he remains a very divisive figure, especially in the manosphere community. Some people, they actually see him as a very successful businessman that uplifted the community, while other people believe that he oppressed women through these negative stereotypes. Kevin Samuels actually died broke and alone, allegedly. I'm just using that. But yeah, he died broke and alone. So despite Samuel's notoriety, Pearl was very, very intrigued. Pearl was very, very intrigued by his content, and because of Kevin Samuels, according to her, she was just introduced to a whole new world of ideas. When Pearl saw Kevin Samuels, she was like, you know what? There is no woman that has come out here to be a pick-me, so maybe I should be the queen of pick-me's. So because there was a lack of female representation in the manosphere community, she decided that she would be the better fit to represent women, not me, but to represent women in the manosphere community. So Pearl, she decided to fill in the gap by sharing similar ideas and also carving out her own space and becoming a very prominent figure in the community. Initially, when Pearl started speaking about how women are the root cause of everything that is going on in the world negatively, she appeared very, very reserved, and she appeared very less confident in discussing manosphere topics compared to other influencers. She also made some efforts to engage her family, her friends, and also conduct street interviews. However, most of her circle, they did not even share her level of interest in the manosphere or concerns about feminism. As a result, she became deeply entrenched in the manosphere echo chambers. So what this means is that she became unaware that other people around her did not share into her own intensity or into her own views, and obviously this just led to a reinforcement of her beliefs without her having any opposing perspectives. As Pearl isolated herself, her relationship suffered. So she had a best friend, or is it a lifelong friend? Her name is Emily. So Emily was her best friend before she decided to just go left. So Emily started distancing herself from Pearl because Pearl had made like hurtful comments about Emily's weight and fertility. Emily was like literally her best friend. She had spent a whole summer with Emily, and Emily, she's been very vocal online, and she's expressed her disappointment in Pearl's shift in attitude towards women, and she's come out to accuse Pearl of being insincere, and she's also suggested that Pearl's online persona is motivated by financial gain, which everybody and their mother actually thinks so, because Emily has come out to say that Pearl was never like this. She came out, she's like, Pearl was never like this. Pearl was like a very normal person. Like, she said Pearl was a very sweet person, and everything just clicked. That she said this is not something that happened like gradually, that it's just like Pearl just woke up one day and she's like, yes, I'm going to join the manosphere community. And everybody around her, I feel like every sensible person would just know that this is all bullshit.
Well, and it's so sad because we had such a fun little friendship. We lived together for an entire summer. Look at that little Hannah banana. We would go camp in the middle of nowhere. And like, look how kind she was before. I look so good here. I do not look like that anymore. We would rollerblade to the bars and then put our rollerblades in a bush and get them when we were done and rollerblade back home completely drunk. And I got married in October of 2021 and stopped being friends with her March 2022, so she's in all of my photos. But she's at the end, so I can just, crop her right out. Well, she was telling the truth. Did you know that she's never been in an actual relationship or has lived with a man? And she gives marriage advice?
As Pearl gained more popularity within the manosphere community, she started aligning herself with different influencers in that community. Obviously, we know about Andrew Tate. So after Andrew Tate, who is a very, very controversial figure, after he was deplatformed, I think he's been deplatformed from YouTube, Instagram, except Twitter. Twitter keeps everybody in case you do not know about Fresh and Fit podcast, I didn't know anything about them until I think it was earlier this year. One of the commentary channels I actually watch, her name is Michelle McDaniels. She used to be my thought to probably offend you before. I love her, and I love the fact that her thought to probably offend you. Anyways, that being said, so that's the first time I heard about Fresh and Fit. So basically, they are like the top, one of the I don't know if they are still in existence, but they got the platform by YouTube, and I remember them coming to beg their online followers for money or something like that. Either money or don't sue me, allegedly. But I saw you guys anyways, but allegedly. They came to ask for support and whatever. Because they were deplatformed by YouTube, and they were like, if we know that we've really helped you or touched your life, blah 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 blah, please support us, whatever. Anyways, I don't even know what happened to them. But anyways, one of the people from Fresh and Fit podcast was caught. Allegedly, they impregnated an OnlyFans model, and they told the OnlyFans model to abort the baby. Allegedly. Obviously, allegedly, because I don't have any money for anybody's lawyer. Okay, so let's continue. Most times, I just think that all these people just do all these things for shock value and just to get a quick cash grab. But like I always say, whatever you get so quickly, sometimes you lose them so quickly. One of Pearl's most controversial collaboration was when she invited Nick Fuentes. And actually, her inviting this guy was the beginning of her downfall. So who is Nick Fuentes? I didn't even know about this guy till I was researching Pearl. So basically, he is a far-right political commentator, and he's known for his extreme white supremacist, misogynistic, homophobic, anti-Semitic, and Islamophobic views. So Pearl invited him onto her podcast. Initially, she advertised this invite as a debate, and when Nick Fuentes actually came on her podcast, Pearl never challenged Nick Fuentes on any of his views. Instead, the podcast just became a platform for Nick Fuentes to actually promote his harmful political viewpoints. Alarmingly, Pearl, she started agreeing with some of Nick Fuentes' takes, and notably, she started perpetuating the idea that slavery was embellished, which she actually brought it up by herself. Like, nobody prompted her to bring this up. She was like, yeah, slavery was embellished, blah, 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 blah. And she even gave Nick Fuentes the opportunity to explain why he believed that the Holocaust was embellished too. And when Nick Fuentes was talking and saying all the nonsense that he was actually spewing from his mouth, Pearl was at the background and she was just laughing. Yeah, she was laughing. And let's not forget, Pearl, she's dated a black guy before. So I don't understand. Like, first of all, I thought she was anti-feminist or whatever. And now she's racist.
Slavery stuff too, because that's literally the founder of, or the guy who made Roots said, I wanted a myth for my people to live by. So they often, but that's what they do, is they embellish. And I'm not trying to say it wasn't horrible, it was, right, but they want to make it like more horrible so that they can control people.
So in what way was slavery made to seem more horrible than it was?
We were talking about, and I don't really want to go into this too much because we're kind of past this, but I was quoting a Thomas Sowell book.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay.
Who's that?
Yeah. So Thomas Sowell's an author who talks about the history of slavery. So.
Thomas Sowell. Oh, so do you agree with that premise that slavery was embellished, or no?
I think that there are parts that are under embellished and there are parts that are over embellished. I think it just depends what we're
That's
talking
so
about.
interesting. I've got to know what was over embellished about slavery. Just like one example, I'm dying to know.
Yeah, I just rather, I mean, I was talking about a book that I read, and I think to understand the context, you'd have to read the book.
But you just said some parts were embellished, some parts were under embellished.
I just, again.
Are you retracting that?
I'd really just rather not.
So people came out and they were like, see, first of all, there are no intelligent conversations or challenges to Fuentes' harmful beliefs. He is just 25 years old. He is 25 years old. Anyways, people came, they criticized Pearl, and they also criticized Nick Fuentes, but I feel like people just expected that from Nick Fuentes. And Pearl, she actually did not care. Honestly, she actually did not care. So the podcast did not go over very well. And people came out and they were like that there was no intelligent conversation between her and Nick. And she did not even challenge any of Nick Fuentes' points, because earlier on she had advertised this as a debate, but instead she just seemed to be agreeing with everything that Nick Fuentes said. So people were like, where is the debate in this? Obviously, she received lots of backlash across social media, and due to that, she took down the video. One thing about Pearl, that's why I said that I don't think she believes in anything she says. When it comes to the actual manosphere and red pill society or whatever, like, they will keep that video up and they would defend their viewpoint. When it comes to Pearl, she chickens out quickly. Anyways, Pearl, she took down that video, and when she took down that video, she uploaded an apology video claiming that she would take accountability. After that, she just avoided talking about the topic any further. Also, the Black manosphere community that pandered to Pearl earlier on, they uplifted her and they platformed Pearl. They were outraged by Nick Fuentes' podcast. They were outraged at Pearl, and Pearl, after this, she went on another podcast with Nick Fuentes, and she remained silent when Nick Fuentes actually said that interracial dating was wrong. But like I said earlier, Pearl, she's dated a black man before, so I don't understand her coming out here to not even speak to Nick Fuentes or even like challenge his points when he's here saying that interracial dating is wrong.
Wish you luck.
I don't.
Wow.
I really don't. I don't wish luck to racists.
Well, I'm not racist.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, I am a little bit racist. Hey, it is what it is.
And the Italians, we do not claim you.
Hey, the Italians don't claim you. You're the one dating a black guy.
Hey, all I have to say is, black men, I love you.
Gross.
Obviously, this podcast did not go well. And obviously, when Pearl was confronted again, she dismissed Nick Fuentes' stance, and she said that Nick Fuentes' stance is being related to his culture. Pearl, also during this time, she also threw her staff member under the bus. She said that her staff member also came out to say that Nick Fuentes was not racist, and she said that she believes that Nick Fuentes was just only joking. So her argument for Nick Fuentes being a good guy was that he was punctual, he was polite, despite the fact that he has all these harmful views, which just seemed like an attempt to escape controversy by playing dumb. But then again, Pearl is not dumb. She knows what she said. She knows what she's saying, and she knows what she's about to say. So after receiving serious backlash, Pearl also came out and she withdrew her apology by uploading a video, Unapologetic, where she retracted her original apology and she doubled down against her opposers. But you know what? Sometimes what goes up comes down, except your gravity. So now, let's talk about the hypocrisy of Pearl. As a white woman, Pearl, she failed to recognize racial microaggression from Fuentes. By platforming someone like Nick Fuentes and his racist beliefs, Pearl revealed that she doesn't actually stand for anything within these communities, and she is only trying to capitalize on the grift for personal gain, just like everybody could see right through. As a result, any supporters that she had, they began to crumble away, especially as Pearl garnered more challengers who further exposed her lack of understanding. It ultimately proved detrimental to her brand and to her reputation. Pearl's fake and uncaring nature was further exposed during her debate with Ethan Klein of the H3 podcast. This podcast is 3 hours long, and I actually, if you guys love long video essays, please watch it. Some parts are unnecessary, but all in all, I would give it like 80%. It was a good podcast. So anyways, Ethan, he wanted to have like a very respectful conversation, challenging Pearl's misogynistic views and damaging content. But it's Pearl we're talking about here. She doesn't like being attacked, but she loves to attack. But she doesn't like being attacked. At one point during this interview, Pearl actually stated that divorce should be illegal unless there is abuse. She helpfully claimed that most domestic violence is mutual. However, experts have actually come out to say that there is nothing like mutual abuse. Mutual abuse is basically a flawed idea, because domestic violence usually involves one partner controlling the other through repeated abuse. So if a survivor responds emotionally, that is not mutual abuse. Instead, that is a reaction to being abused. Unfortunately, this misunderstanding often leads to survivors being blamed and not believed. Pearl, she also believes that women should get married as young as possible, and she's come out to double down on claims that aspects of slavery were embellished, and she refused to rebuke her past comments. And when she was pressed on this further, she decided to end the call early. People were very, very surprised by how unprepared Pearl actually was when she came for this debate with Ethan. And people were actually questioning if she genuinely holds these beliefs, or if, as other claims, it's all a trick to make money by being intentionally inflammatory and controversial. Pearl, when she was speaking on this podcast, she actually did not even seem passionate about her beliefs, and she would often change her tune when she was asked questions by Ethan. I'm getting tired. It's 2:09 a.m. and I have work tomorrow at 9. I'm tired. Anyways, H3's executive producer, Daniel, he actually believes much of Pearl's online persona is fake.
I don't understand why these people don't come at least a little prepared.
That's a very good question. I genuinely thought that she would be more prepared. From the content that we've watched of hers, she's always throwing out stats and everything.
It's all made up.
I don't want to say it's all made up, but I think a lot of it is misinterpreted. A lot of it is exaggerated.
Well, she has a repertoire. She has like a dialogue tree that she sticks to.
Yeah, and I mean, for instance, there was like the dating app thing, and she made a claim. We tried to find the source of that claim. We found a similar claim that was kind of saying the same thing and presented that to her, and she didn't really refute that. It seemed like even she wasn't sure if we were talking about the same study. It seems like this is, a lot of her opinions are based on vibes.
Yeah, a lot of her opinions go against her own best interest.
Yes.
The way that she said, women are all emotional. That's literally like, they're all emotional. And then she goes, Ethan, let's argue. And so you rightfully will be like, well, that what you just said is arguing from emotion, pointing out the irony and also the fact that she was. And she would just be like, why would you even say that?
Mm-hmm.
And then she'll be like, 21 is way better than 26. I'm 26, by the way. It's just like, I don't.
She's a fraud. She's a grifter.
She has nothing to stand on.
That's something we didn't get into. My takeaway from the last 2 days of looking into her, I don't know this for sure, and I know you didn't necessarily agree with me, Ethan, but I think it's all fake. I think it's a put on. I don't think I think she cynically is just leaning into it to get traction on the internet, and has been very successful on it.
And even those within the red pill manosphere community, they began to believe that Pearl was just tricking people. So there is this platform called the Look Max Forum. Posters actually called Pearl a trickster and also a pick-me. So what's a pick-me? A pick-me is basically a derogatory term for women who pander to men. And that is Pearl. Pearl is the ultimate pick-me. So people in this Look Maxine forum online, they actually said that Pearl exaggerates her beliefs for controversies and views rather than being genuine. And it has become like very, very clear that those within Pearl's own circle, they actually dislike her, whether they agree with her viewpoints or not. Obviously, like, there are people that will not agree with what you're saying or agree with the type of thinking you have, but they will still like you for who you are. Pearl, she's currently in London. I didn't know till I was researching this case. What's she doing here? Why is she not in America? People within the manosphere community that she's in, they just distance themselves from her. And the men that she desperately wants to impress, they've refused to look at her. Pearl, she has completely isolated herself from anyone who will accept her, and this is a path that she has willingly walked down on. Ethan wasn't only the only person to like challenge Pearl. Guess another person that challenged Pearl. If I tell you guys, you guys will be like, what? Yeah, Piers Morgan. Pearl has been on his talk show for like so many times. That was not even the first time. And every other time Pearl was on his talk show, he never ever challenged Pearl. I don't know if you guys can hear the tiredness in my voice. I'm so tired. That leads us to the downfall of Pearl. So in the summer of 2023, when Colin Bollinger's botched ukulele non-apology video went viral, Pearl, she decided to ride that wave of attention. So she posted a video on YouTube called Why Can't We Talk About the Jews? And here she sang about the Holocaust theories while playing a guitar. This one got so much backlash. Like, this one got so much backlash.
Speaking of coalitions, what do you think about the Jews? No, I'm just kidding.
I don't have any.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Keep me out of
I'm just kidding. That's not a serious question.
Why can't we talk about them without getting kicked off of YouTube?
Pearl's video, like I said earlier, called Why Can't We Talk About? Yeah. So basically, it caused a lot of outrage and backlash from the public. And obviously, like Pearl normally does, she actually deleted this video later on her YouTube channel. And many people actually found the lyrics to be very, very offensive and anti-Semitic. Pearl sang lyrics that seemed to empathize with Hitler and promote conspiracy theories about the Holocaust. So lines like, I'm not saying I was a good guy, but I kind of want to know why. And she also said, maybe they are right. Obviously, these lines were just seen as very, very disrespectful towards Jewish people. And again, like I said, everything is always good and dandy till you talk about the Jews. Those people, they do not joke about themselves. Many people criticizing Pearl for promoting anti-Semitic ideas and conspiracy theories about the Holocaust. So despite Pearl's attempt to claim that the video was about cancel culture, the public did not even see it that way. Even Piers Morgan, who had previously, like I said earlier, he had previously given Pearl a platform on his show. He himself, he was very, very shocked. And I can remember watching this whole, I won't say it's a debate. So she was called to Piers Morgan's show, and I don't think she was expecting Piers Morgan to ask her questions about the video. And when once he brought it out or brought it up, she was dumbfounded. Like, she was so shocked. Her face gave me so much satisfaction because I was like, yes, girl, yes. Anyways, even Piers Morgan, like I said, had given her a platform on his show, but she was shocked because Pearl came off like she did not understand why the video was incredibly offensive to Jewish people. She kept saying, did you watch to the end? Did you watch to the end? And the backlash from the public, they were so strong and unexpected that Pearl, she ended up deleting the video like within just 24 hours.
Look, at the end of the day, Pierce, the song was about freedom of speech.
It wasn't one way or the other. The song was about why can't we have these conversations on social media, and why do I keep getting
about why Hitler may be a good guy,
and why do I keep seeing people get banned on social media? My point is, I don't think there should be a line unless you're inciting violence.
Here's a
Would
line.
we, Pierce, would we agree on that?
Listen,
yes or no? Yes or no? Will we agree?
Here's my point.
No, yes,
you haven't
no?
answered my question.
Okay.
I'm not saying Hitler was a good guy, but I want to know why. I want to know why what?
We can't have the conversation without being canceled by the left and the right. I just don't understand why you guys added. You guys cut out the end of the song. You did 75. Okay.
The conversation about whether Hitler was a good guy. You want to have that conversation?
I think that
he murdered 12 million people,
my whole
including
point,
6 million Jewish people on a Holocaust.
My whole point is we should be able to have that conversation.
But whether he's a good guy?
Yes, because it causes more commotion when you're starting to censor people.
I don't agree.
Like, I think that's wrong. I think it's
agree.
wrong to censor anybody.
Well, you know what? You can have that conversation. You had that conversation. You posted it. You haven't been cancelled. I've had you on the show because I thought you might, with time, to think about this, regret what you did, because you can clearly, you're not stupid. You do understand the offence it caused, and wanting to have the right to debate whether Hitler's a good guy is just cretinous.
No, I want anybody to be able to speak on any platform. That was the point of the song.
So, however, by that point, many people had already recorded and just shared these offensive videos online. One thing about Pearl is that she loves to tweet. She tweets a lot. So after the show with Piers Morgan, Pearl, she actually went on an angry Twitter rant, and she was claiming that Piers Morgan and his team actually tricked her. She accused them of lying that it would be a pro-free speech debate, and also she said that they ambushed her by talking about her controversial video instead of having like a normal debate that she used to have anytime she goes on Piers Morgan's show. Piers actually told her that she should own up to her mistake and apologize for the offense that she caused, but I don't think she apologized. Pearl just wants a platform to spread harmful narratives with just little pushbacks, which is not how the mainstream social media actually works, because first of all, you can come out and just say whatever you want to say, but you cannot come out and tell the people, the public, how to treat you. That's not how it's done. So after Piers Morgan's show, she announced creating her own platform where she can share narratives with just zero pushbacks. And maybe Pearl just assumed that these controversial viral moments would lead to clicks, views, and an easy business ventures like others before her. But she may have seemed to just have forgotten one key factor. And what's that? Likability factor. In 2023, Pearl decided to create her own media network called the Audacity Network. Her goal was for it to be like a TV network but for YouTube. She posted a video trying to find internet talent who could apply and create shows for the network. However, the talents that she signs cannot do exactly what she does. They would have to pitch their own show ideas to her. So girl, what are you doing? Anyways, the Audacity Network website advertises itself as a place where freedom of speech is celebrated and diverse perspectives are welcome. But to access this vibe, to access this network, you actually have to pay $10 a month, or if you want for the whole year, you have to pay $80 a year. This website, they also claim to offer exclusive courses, but I think there's just only one course that's on this platform, and the name of this course is How to Make People Feel Comfortable, which is something that Pearl is apparently very, very skilled at, because honestly, when I was listening to her speak on this, her podcast and debates, I promise you, I did not want to throw my phone away. I did not cringe. I was not uncomfortable. I was very comfortable. That's why she has the audacity to sell a course called How to Make Someone Feel Comfortable. Guys, I really, really want to sleep. I feel like I'm having an out-of-body experience. So now I'm thinking, I need to wash my face because I'm tired. Anyway, soon after starting the network, Pearl's other income avenues, they just went up in flames. Her YouTube channel got fully demonetized, while she claimed that she didn't even know what happened and why YouTube demonetized her YouTube channel. However, other people claim that Pearl actually tried to take her content too far, and Pearl even seemed to pick up these claims because she responded to someone's report and said that she got demonetized without YouTube even clarifying or even telling her why she got demonetized. For example, TikTok has actually banned her like a total of 8 times. I don't know if she's still making money from TikTok, I don't know, but like TikTok has banned her a total of 8 times, if not more. So what was supposed to be a long-lasting grift capitalizing on outrage marketing died out very, very quickly. Like I said, the way you get them is how you lose them. People are not really checking for Pearl like that. People are not really checking for Pearl like that. So let's talk about before feminism. Feminism is a topic that really holds dear to my heart. So feminism, before feminism, a long time ago, women had it really rough. Like, women could not go to school like boys could, so they missed out on learning and they missed out on growing. Women, they also didn't have rights. They could not own properties and they could not make like big decisions on their lives. Instead, they often depended on men for money and they couldn't get good jobs. Society as a whole, then, they had like very strict rules for women. Women were expected to stay home, have kids and take care of the house. And if they tried to do anything other than that, people were going to judge them or even punish them. Women also couldn't vote and women also couldn't be leaders, which made it very hard for them to change things that affected their lives. So on top of that, women didn't have controls over their own body and they couldn't always choose if they wanted to have a baby or not. And again, this is still happening now, but back then, getting help for women's health was very tough compared to now. So feminism started growing in the late 1800s and in the early 1900s, and here women began speaking up for their rights. A big win came in 1918 when women in the UK over the age of 30 actually got the right to vote, and more changes followed because in 1967 there was a law that was passed in the UK making it illegal to rape women, giving them better protection from harm. This law was passed 1967, which is not even far. Before 1992, forced sexual activity within marriage wasn't illegal in the UK, which is very surprising. So if you're married to someone, you could rape them and the law would not do anything because it wasn't illegal. Throughout the 20th century, women started getting jobs that used to be for only men, like doctors and lawyers, and laws also started to change just to make things more fairer. In 1970, a law was passed to make sure that women got paid the same as men for doing the same work. But obviously, some companies are still fighting with this because gender pay gap is actually a real thing. Also, feminism also challenged old ideas about what women could do and what women couldn't do, and it gave them more freedom to choose what they wanted in life. For example, in 1967, abortion became legal in the UK, giving women more control over their bodies. So when someone like Hannah Pearl Davis says things like women shouldn't have the right to vote and divorce should be banned, it makes you wonder if everything is all right in her head. Her views, they seem to go against all the progress that women have made over the years. So now let's go to the conclusion. In conclusion, Hannah Pearl Davis serves as a warning about the dangers of controversial and backward ideologies in the digital age. At first, she found success in the manosphere by promoting anti-feminist and misogynistic views. However, her journey took a bad turn when she became a hypocrite, made extreme alliances, and created offensive content. Pearl's move into a more radical viewpoint, including her association with far-right figures like Mick Fuentes, backfired badly. It made her lose supporters and made her face severe backlash. Her attempt to create her own social media that is the Audacity Network. It further showed that she was very, very insincere and she lacked genuine support. So in the end, Pearl's story highlights how success built on inflammatory rhetoric is only temporary, and this underscores the importance of being accountable and having integrity when creating content. Pearl's downfall serves as a purpose about the consequences of embracing extreme ideologies solely for attention and profit. So guys, that brings us to the end of our video, and if you're not subscribed, kindly subscribe to my channel, like this video, and thank you guys so much for sticking with me. It's almost 3 a.m. and I need to sleep. I have work tomorrow, but guys, I am done. So kindly please like, share, subscribe with your friends, and let's get the party going.